is going to end up luxury apartments soon, isn't it? Hey guys, what a quaint old place. Like old farm sheds, like a giant old farm. From guys. Wow, look at this, guys. Mountains of wheelie bins. Look at these. These must be all the damaged or broken wheelie bins, guys. Money here, guys, equipment and trucks and machinery. This must be all the parks equipment here. Look at this, guys, fuel pumps, propane gas, and fuel pumps. Oh guys, we're in a major Preston City Council depot here, and what are they doing with all these shopping trolleys here? What are they doing with all these shopping trolleys, guys? Is this the ones that people take home and then just dump in the street and they collect them and just leave them here? Looks like, guys. But what an amazing place this is, guys. Just all these old buildings. It's like an old farm. Certainly a few, if not tens of millions of pounds worth of vehicles and machinery here, guys. And the operational costs of this place must be huge. So much so that they have to have their own petrol station. Eh? can see where we were earlier. This is all the bin wagons here, guys. And
what are you
the
doing?
park stuff over there.
What are you doing?
Excuse me, you're being rude.
What are you doing?
Is that not obvious?
Well, you're recording, but are you meant to be here? Who are you?
Am I meant to be here?
Yes.
What do you mean? Am I allowed to be here?
This is a working site. You shouldn't be here, especially without high vis or without us.
It's not operational. Everybody's gone home.
Who are you?
That's irrelevant who I am.
No, it is, because you're taking pictures on council property.
Council property?
Yes.
Do you know what that means?
What?
That means it belongs to me.
It doesn't mean it belongs to you at all.
Why does it not?
Because it's not your property.
It belongs to the people.
Can I ask you to leave the site, please?
Does it not belong to the people?
Can I ask you to leave the site?
Does it not?
Please leave the site.
Yeah, when you answer my question.
Please, can you leave the site?
When you answer my question.
It's a council
You've
site.
confronted me, so when you answer my question.
No, I'll just have to film the police.
What do you think they're going to do? It's public land.
It's not. It's a working site.
It is public land owned by the people who pay your wages. Don't forget that.
Council land. You're not
Public land.
on the site. Have you been?
Public land.
Have you been?
Where? Who are you?
Have you been? I work here.
Right. I'm working now on public land.
Working doing what?
Working.
Working doing what?
What are you doing? Apart from
That's what you're doing.
you're interrupting my work.
You're wandering around the site.
You are interrupting my work.
To be here.
You are interrupting my work.
What is your work?
You're preventing me from doing my work.
Which is?
This.
Which is?
This.
And what is it? Have we engaged you to do this?
No.
Well, just leave the site.
It's public land paid for by taxpayers like me.
Please leave the site.
I've already told you no.
For a start, you're not wearing high vis. This is an operational site at all
It's not
times.
operational. I've witnessed everybody going home.
Do you know that everybody who's got home?
Yeah.
Do I have to leave the site? Sorry.
Well guys, we met a very rude man there who's saying it's not paid for by the taxpayers, it doesn't belong to the people who pay his wages. How wrong has he got it, guys? Maybe I haven't got a high vis on, guys, but the site is shut at the moment. I've witnessed all the staff getting in their cars and going home. I've been here, walking around here for half an hour, guys. I'm just on my way out. Just about got back to the gate and he confronts me.
Hiya. Can we help you?
If you've got the same attitude as him, I suggest you just turn around. Yeah?
What can I ask why you're on site?
I'm filming and photographing.
Yeah, have you got permission to be here?
I don't need permission.
What do you
Exactly that. What part of that do you not understand?
well, like I say, it's a private site. The public
It's
can't
not
say
private.
The public can't.
It's
allow the
owned
site.
by the people.
It doesn't work like that.
Does it not?
It doesn't.
I'm afraid it does.
It really doesn't.
People pay your wages.
They absolutely do.
Right. This is public land paid for by the people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So how does it not work
It's
that
a
way?
licensed waste site, which doesn't.
How
the
does it
public
not
can't-
work that way in your
The public.
in
cannot-
your little world? How does that not mean it doesn't belong to the people then?
No, it absolutely does.
Right.
But
You've just said it doesn't work like
yeah,
that.
well, please try that on a MOD site. It doesn't work that way. There's
Does it?
lots of
I've been to
places-
many MOD sites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure you probably have.
Yeah.
But you're not allowed just to wander around the site, particularly in operation.
Of course you are. When you don't climb any barriers or open any doors,
No,
you're allowed to.
Well-
Trust me.
we're asking you to leave.
I know trespass law to the T.
Lovely.
This man doesn't.
Can I ask you to leave the site, please?
No.
Oh, I can. Please leave the site.
No.
Why not?
Because I'm not finished my work. You've interrupted me.
What work?
This man's been very rude.
What's your work?
This.
Doing what?
This.
What's this?
Are you blind?
No, not in the slightest. I'm asking you what this
Right.
is.
Gentlemen, go back to work.
No,
Leave me alone.
I'd like you to explain why you're on a site.
What you like in this world and what you get are two different things. Go back to work.
Well, this is part of my work.
What, harassing a member of the public?
No, I'm asking somebody to leave the site. Which
I've already told you twice no, and I've told him 3 times no.
yeah.
It's
Yeah?
an operational site.
No, it's not. Everybody's gone home.
It's continually operational.
Does not compute.
It's continually operational.
Is it?
Yes, look.
Well,
Look,
clearly
what?
Not everybody.
Oh, look, guys, all these workers here and all this machinery whizzing about.
We
And
have other people coming and going. We do have other vehicles that may
well, I've been here for 35 minutes and I haven't seen one van move. I've seen lots of staff get in their cars and go home.
Therefore, it's still operational when you've seen them, haven't you?
What, the staff getting in their car and going home?
Well, yeah, it's still people coming and going from the site.
What sheet is he reading from?
I'm sorry, I'm struggling completely with your logic. It is an operational site. Just because there's no vehicles-
Operational or not, it belongs to the people, yeah?
Yes.
I haven't climbed any fences, I haven't removed any barriers, I haven't opened any gates or any doors.
Right.
Right, so therefore I have a right to be here as a taxpayer, yeah?
I don't believe that's quite the case.
Well, what you believe and what is law are miles apart, yeah?
Right.
Now,
The site is a permitted waste site. You're not allowed to just wander into a permitted waste site.
says who?
Says
Says who?
says the license that we operate.
Right, so what law does that come under?
I think it's under the Environmental Protection Act 1990.
Right. So there's a law in place that says I'm not allowed to be here.
No, there's a permit in place which doesn't allow the public to be in an operational area.
But it's not
Waste
operational,
site.
you guys. What bit are you not understanding? Everybody's gone home.
It's still an operational site. Just because nothing is moving right.
Just because you say it doesn't mean it is.
In fact, if you're wandering around without any high-vis as well, for your own safety more than anything.
I'm a grown man, yeah?
That's not the issue here. We've got to think of health and safety considerations as well.
Yeah, we've got an obligation for people on our
to
side
make sure
to
you're
not-
safe. As
Oh,
well.
we're going down that crap road, are we?
Well,
Guys, they're looking out for my safety. Jesus. Guys, just go back to work. I was on my way out. I've been here over half an hour. I'm done until this idiot poked his nose into my business.
No, it's perfectly right to ask.
The more you keep annoying me, I'll just go and do another tour.
Right,
Go back to work now or I'll do another tour.
right, let me explain.
Right, you had your chance.
If you would let me explain to you.
You had your chance.
No,
Right, guys.
Explain to you.
I've got to start again because this pair of idiots have ruined my video, so I've got to start again.
Right, excuse me.
So,
You're on a site, you don't know where the site is, you're not going in the site, you haven't looked it. I'm not entirely sure why you're here. You won't explain it to me.
you're ruining my video. Will you shut up?
No, I feel
Right, guys. So we'll start again.
way along. I'm being paid to be here. You're clearly
Now,
not.
this will be the most work you guys have done all week, I should imagine.
Well, if we're going to get into insults, that's a bit
Yeah,
pointless,
let's.
isn't it?
Let's.
No, it's not.
Right. Well, you're insulting me by harassing me now.
Right. All we're asking at the start of this is for you to explain why you are here. You haven't given us a reasonable explanation. You're talking in riddles half the time, and you've been quite insulting. It's perfectly reasonable for somebody to ask you why you're on a site
Yeah.
when you have no reason to be here that we can see. So just explain to me, why are you here?
For all we know, you could be casing the joint for someone.
Oh, and there we go, guys. It didn't take long. The only thing they won't be able to pull out of the hat here, guys, is that I'm filming kids. But we've gone down, I'm casing the joint,
No, you didn't.
and then next thing will be, oh, that terrorism. What a pair of idiots. Come on, boys. Come on, boys. Let's go walkies. Come on, boys. Let's go walkies.
Why are you on our side? Why
It's
are
not
you
your site, it belongs to the people. Doesn't belong to you.
Am I not a person?
It doesn't belong to
Am
you.
I not a person?
It belongs to the taxpayers.
Am I not a person? Am I not a taxpayer?
Yes,
And I
but
said our site.
but
Our. Did I
the
not say
difference
our?
is,
No difference.
Is there not?
Our.
is there not a
Our.
difference?
No.
You pay your tax with my tax,
No, I pay my tax with my money that I've earned.
which comes from the taxpayers.
Yes, it does.
So you're paying your tax with my tax.
And like everybody else does.
Right. So you'll understand then where I'm coming from. If you're saying you're a taxpayer,
Yeah, I'm a taxpayer.
right, so why are you questioning me?
I'm asking because I've no idea why you're here. You're wandering around the site.
I told him why I'm here.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
Go on.
What did you say?
If he's not explained it to you, I'm not explaining it again. If he's incompetent, that's your problem.
You said you were videoing. That's all you said.
I never said anything.
Well, there you go.
Right, sorry.
I said to you, what did I say to you? What did I say to you? What did I say to you? You guys need to stop waving your arms about, because I see that as a threat.
That's not a threat.
Right.
Okay?
You just said that you haven't told him why you're here, and that you've told him why you're here. Which one is it?
Which one is it? Which one is it?
It's the fact that he didn't.
Do you want to give your glasses a wipe? Because they're making me go googly.
Well, to try and say
How can you see through them?
As well. We do have a COVID outbreak going on at the moment.
No, we don't.
We don't.
No.
We don't have any COVID in this country.
Oh, I've got to get close up for the thumbnail with this one. Right, what are you asking again?
Why are you here?
Why am I here?
Yes.
Doing what I'm doing.
Why are you here?
That's what I told him.
What?
Is it not obvious what I'm doing? There's his answer.
It's really not obvious.
There's your answer.
What? That it's not obvious?
No, it's obvious what I'm doing here.
Well, I don't believe it is. I'm not clear why you're here. Please explain.
Exactly.
Do I have to explain?
I don't think it's an unreasonable request.
Do I have to explain?
Well,
Am I obliged to answer your questions?
no, you're not.
Right.
But
Am I obliged to answer his questions?
No. But again, I don't think it's an unreasonable question to ask, is it?
Okay, am I doing anything? Am I going through any barriers? Am I opening any doors?
I don't. Well,
Not that you've
I've seen
witnessed.
so far. No.
Right. Okay. So I'm not really doing anything wrong, am I?
You're on a site.
I'm not really doing anything wrong, am I?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen you for the last, clearly in the last half hour. I've seen you for about 5 or 10 minutes, if that.
Right.
And I'm just asking you a perfectly reasonable question. Why are you here?
Right.
And you're not answering the question. You're avoiding it.
I'm not avoiding it.
Well, it sounded very much like it. I mean, we've been having this conversation for about 3 or 4 minutes now. You still haven't actually answered the question.
Is it not obvious what I'm doing?
No, it is not. To me, it isn't.
I'm walking around and talking to the camera and I'm taking pictures.
And why?
For what purpose?
I don't have to tell you that.
Well, no, you don't. But clearly, we've just asked a question. So, either I'm doing it for this reason, or I'm really sorry, but at this point in time, I'm not prepared to answer that question.
The reason behind it is taxpayers like to see where their money's going.
Okay. Not a major problem. And I don't understand why it took so long to get to that point. We actually have open days where people can come on site and look round. Got one coming up in September.
Yeah, but I never do open days because you don't get the true picture on open days.
Well, you still get to walk around and see things. And
I'm getting a true picture here. I'm getting a better side of the company here.
Company?
Yeah.
Well, not really.
Yeah.
You've got 2 people talking to you. That's.
No, I've had one person dictating to me.
No, I've asked you to leave the site because you're not.
And I told you no.
Been signed in.
So when I told you no, you should have just carried on with your job
no.
that the taxpayers are paying you to do.
I would be abandoning my duty on an operating waste site for you to be walking around like this.
We do, whilst, yes, there's nobody on the transfer station using the loading shovel at the moment, it is still an operational site. There will be vehicles moving around, and you're wandering around.
As a grown-up, you know what I would do? I would just step aside.
Well, that may be the case, but as I'm sure you are probably well aware, we do have an obligation if the people on site.
Not over me, you don't. Not over me, you don't.
Well, no, we do.
You don't?
So we still have a duty of care for anybody who's on our site.
You don't?
No, we don't.
Well, in that case, you shouldn't have gates wide open, should you? Where people can walk in. What if a child or a toddler, a 3 or 4 year old wandered in here?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm not disagreeing with you, but we have gates that do actually shut, and they are open whilst the site is in operation. So yes, people can walk in.
Yeah.
That's always the case. We don't have them shut 24 hours a day.
Right.
Clearly they can't be.
Yeah.
So I'm not quite seeing the argument here. If you're saying it's not safe because somebody, a toddler or a child might come in.
No, I'm not saying it's not safe.
It's not safe.
You guys are implying that you've got to look out for my safety when I'm a grown man.
No, well, we have an obligation. And I think full well if something were to happen while you were on site, potentially there's a lot of conversations that will be taking place about why you're here and why you got into trouble and why we didn't do anything about it.
Why am I going to be in trouble?
No, if you got into trouble, as in, you fell over, broke a leg, whatever it may be.
Yeah, I'd just call myself a fucking idiot, wouldn't I? If I fell over.
Yeah, but not everybody works that way, and I think the law doesn't work that way as well.
Right, okay. But you're not winning the argument here because...
There's no argument to win.
You're not, because...
I'm not sure there's actually an argument at all. We're just, we've asked you a question which you've sort of just about answered.
Yeah.
So The other thing I should just point out is the gates on site do shut, and if you haven't got a pass, then you've got a bit of a problem because you won't be able to get out that easily.
I can climb.
Maybe
What
you
time
can.
do the gates shut?
Um,
That one probably is already
That'll
shut.
be already shut.
And that one, what time is it now?
What time are you leaving?
So I don't know yet.
You don't know? Well, what time are you paid till?
I work flexi hours. Is that a problem?
It is for me if I want to know what time you're leaving.
I don't have to tell you that.
Not true, he doesn't.
See, now who's acting shifty and shady? What are you up to?
How's that shifty? I've asked you to do we've asked you reasonable questions. First of all, I asked you, excuse me, what are you doing? That's the first thing I said to you when I approached you. I asked that several times.
You see, you asked me with a tone.
No, I asked you several times and you ignored
You
me
used
several
certain
times.
words, but your tone
You
said
asked- I
different
asked you.
words. You asked me in a tone that was like, what the fuck do you think you're
I did
doing?
not swear. Did I swear to you?
Didn't
once?
say you sweared, I said your tone. That's what your
No.
tone really, really said. That's what you were
I was
thinking.
concerned that you may be either doing something that you shouldn't be doing, because I've never met you before.
What, with a dangerous camera?
You're wandering around.
So
with a camera.
how do you see me, guys? Do you see me as a man with a camera? Or a dangerous man with a dangerous camera? Or a man with a dangerous camera? How do you see me?
This is just becoming slightly surreal now.
Surreal.
You're bloke with a camera, clearly.
Yeah.
However, as we've tried to get at, we don't know what you're doing here. We haven't got a flaming clue why you're on site. Well, we sort of do now. We've got a little bit further along, but certainly when we ask the question,
Well, you need to. I'll put one thing in to my report. You need to step up your security then if this is an operational site, because I've wandered around here for nearly 30 minutes before this man approached me.
yeah,
And 20, 30 people saw me.
it's to be honest, I'm not going to argue with you on that point at all. That should clearly not have happened. Clearly somebody should have come up to you before now and asked you why you were here.
Based on the way you're acting and what you're saying now, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it still wouldn't detract from the fact that
No.
I'm allowed to be here.
Well, I think that's one of those things. I may.
You may not want me to be here.
No,
He
no.
definitely doesn't want me
I
here.
maybe understand where you're coming
Yeah.
from. I'm not saying 100%, but I maybe
I
understand.
don't think
Yeah.
against you personally or anything of that nature. We're just trying to make sure that you're safe, that everybody here is safe, and that we're safeguarding, as you said, public interests. This is what we're trying to do. Because if someone came round to your house and started going around your garden,
But this is not your house.
no, but if they did, would you ask them?
This is not your
Would
house.
you?
This is
It's
not your
just a
house.
simple- I'm only asking a civil question. Would you ask them?
No, you're trying
So
to imply
No, it's a civil
when there's no
thing.
connection. This is not your house.
No, it clearly, yeah. Okay.
No,
It's
but
not our
parallel
house.
is there.
Yes, it absolutely is not.
But the parallel is there. You would ask, wouldn't you? Not if someone you knew wasn't part of the
Yes,
workforce.
if I come round your house, then you've got the right to ask me what I
It's not,
do.
it's not about right though, is it? It's about a common sense thing. If somebody was in your garden, ignore
Common
what
sense, that's a good line.
Ignore what your rights.
Common sense should have told this man what I'm doing. I'm on public land, paid for by the taxpayers. The only issue is I've not got a high vis on. Yeah?
Clearly.
And that's it.
Well, it's
it's
not,
not.
not the only issue. I mean, it's not so much about just wearing a high vis.
Yeah.
Why are you here? Again, yes, it's public land, but clearly we don't want all and sundry wandering around because all sorts of things can happen.
But they
It
have a
is-
right
it is-
to.
it-
As taxpayers, they have a right to come and see where their money's going.
I'm not.
Too many councils are making it out that, no, you're not allowed to. You see, where does the average Joe Bloggs taxpayer, where do they go to see where their money's going? They can put in an FOI request, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they'll get back some figures.
Yeah.
They have no way of checking those figures.
Yeah. True. Yeah.
You see where I'm coming from?
Yeah. Yeah.
But me coming straight in with the camera shows where the money's going.
But
Well, no, it doesn't.
It does, because I've been walking around going, right guys, look at all these vehicles here, yeah?
Yeah.
This is where lots of your money's going, obviously, on all these vehicles needed, this, that and the other. Fuel, I've been pointing out the fuel pumps,
Yeah.
so there's fuel to pay for. That's what, I'm not here to put you guys down.
Yeah.
I'm here to show, literally, to show public where the money's going.
Where I would perhaps argue with you, you get a snapshot of where the money's going in a certain regard. Because what you don't get, clearly, is what's going on behind the scenes as in any of the buildings.
Yeah, that's obviously a bigger expense, and I've been saying that to the camera. That you know, the running costs of this place must be quite high. I've said all that to the camera as I've been walking around. You know, and the cost of all the vehicles. But you know, I didn't even know this place was here until an hour ago.
Yeah.
You know, I went round to record for history what they're starting to demolish now. The old, and that was only pointed out by a friend an hour and a half ago. You know, he said, "Oh, it's 100 years old. They're apparently demolishing them." Yeah. So I come round to take some pictures of that before it all goes. Yeah. And then he told me about this place. So I thought, well, I'll come in, you know, and have a look round.
Well, I think the only thing I would say is that, you know, from our perspective, that I'm like, my background many years ago, you know, I'm you know, when I went to university, that's what I love history. That's my thing. That's one of the reasons we
and
do
that's what we do. You know, we preserve history. Well, can you imagine if they had a camera 1,000 years ago? Eh?
I think though, and I appreciate that this may not be the case with every council, but it's that old analogy about catching more flies with honey than vinegar or whatever.
Yeah.
If you had a conversation with it, certainly if you have a conversation with me, happily I'll take you around and show you stuff.
Yeah.
You won't be able to see now.
Right. So is that an invite to come back one day?
Yeah, absolutely.
Good.
Yeah.
Right. I might take you up on that.
More than welcome to. In all honesty, if you want to come in the offices, have you got a mask? Right. If you were willing to put a mask on, I'll happily show you some stuff now.
No, I don't have time now.
Photographs that you might find very, very interesting.
Old photos. Very interested in old photos. Yeah. Very interesting. Actually, that's how I started out doing what I'm doing. By looking back on YouTube at, like, I live in Blackpool. Yeah. So you look back at Blackpool from 110 years ago, some of the photographs, and it's amazing. Yeah. So the old photographs really does interest me, and I've started doing that as a street photographer. I've photographed every street in Blackpool, Cleveland, Fleetwood. I've done most of Preston, some of Blackburn, Darwin.
Are you doing the before and after sort of?
No, it's just as it is now. You know, and it's all going on memory cards and stored away. Maybe my kids will put it on YouTube in 30 or 40 years' time, you know.
See, I would, for me, I would, I'm obviously not telling you how to do whatever you do, but I do the then and now sort of scenario. Yeah.
Yeah, there's lots of them videos on YouTube, isn't there?
You're right, Matt, we've sorted it. Yep. Because, like, one of the photos is, and I'm just not going to mention this now, because if you do want to come and look at it, it's worth knowing this now, is taken, well, not roughly where we're stood, probably just about back there a little bit, but is this courtyard, and it's literally full of
horses and carts.
Horses, and the guys who obviously...
This looks like an old farm.
Well, it's always been a waste site. It's
Has it?
1880, I want to say 1882, might be 1886, it's somewhere around there. It's always been a waste site.
So you're not due for demolition along with all the bus station now, the bus depot?
No, well that's nothing. Obviously, used to be part of the council, sold off, it was part of the, you know, privatisation stuff in the 90s. So that is a completely separate company, nothing to do with the council whatsoever.
Right. What, Preston Bus? Nothing to do with the council then? No.
The only reason it's not on, you know, it used to be, let's say 1990-ish, something like that.
Yeah.
It was sold, you know, as
see, what this has got written all over it now is it's very old. You can see that. So sort of as I was wandering around, I was thinking to myself, this is going to end up sort of luxury house apartments one day. It's just got that look about it.
I don't think so. I mean, you know.
It would be a shame to see that happen, but
yeah, but I don't think so.
There must be a lot of it not getting used, is there?
Ish.
There's
bits that aren't overly well used, but you know, like, you know, storage. You know, like obviously parking.
Yeah.
You know, there's lots of bits and bobs, the stuff that we use. You can imagine, you know, whether it's bags, whether it's bins, whether it's sweeper brushes, all those.
Is it being, because it's so? This has got to be listed then, hasn't it?
No. It's not listed.
If it's so old, it should be, should it not?
It's not.
Or does age not necessarily automatically mean it has to be listed?
No. Well, I don't think age specifically is a requirement for listing. I mean, you can have you know, for what I know anyway. You can have a 150-year-old building that's not a listed building. I don't
Right.
think they get listed because of it. Well, I think it's all to do with it's not architectural merit as opposed to just age.
I don't know.
So, I'm not an expert on it either, but you know, it is what it is. It's an industrial site from the 1880s-ish.
Yeah.
As I said, no, it's not listed.
For the local council depot.
Because what they used to be. I can show you this ish on a photograph, and I can't clearly show you now because it's been demolished. But that used to be what they called the destructor.
Right.
So essentially, there was what we would nowadays call an incinerator there.
Ah, right.
And then massive brick chimney job going up, wherever.
Who brought that down? Fred?
Who knows? That was built some point in the 1960s.
Right.
So there's nobody working here. Even the guys that have been here, 20, 30 years, anything going on pre with that.
Right.
But my favourite thing, and there's an aerial photograph which I haven't got a copy of, but it's on Flickr, I think.
Right.
Taken from somewhere up there.
Yeah.
And I think it's like 1926, 1929, something like that.
Right.
So what you've got, you won't see this, might just see this better over here. You've got to really got to squint a little bit to make this one out.
Yeah.
Slightly looks different.
Yeah.
Right, there's a bridge here.
Right.
So literally there was an entry. Now, you can't see it. You won't be able to see it all. Down here, just underneath our feet, in the brickwork, there's some sandstone or probably sandstone blocks on that side.
Yeah.
Which I think we're probably the biggest 6 foot brick that went over.
Right.
But you see there's like 3 dotted there. And then as I say, that was literally just nothing. You just went straight across and out.
Right.
So
It's fascinating, all this old stuff.
Yeah.
But my main point is, showing the people.
Yeah.
Because they can't. In all honesty, I wouldn't even know. Where would you go to find out where all your tax money's going? And you've no reliance that if you put in a request for information digitally or by post, even what you get back, you can't automatically say, oh, they're lying, but you have to have that doubt because there's no way of you checking it. You're just supposed to be trusting that the information they send you is correct. But I mean, we all know there's corruption everywhere, don't we? I'm not accusing you guys personally, but that's why I do what I do the way I do it. Yeah. I'll overstep the boundaries, but only slightly. I'll not break any laws badly. I might be breaking health and safety laws by not having a high vis on. But if I don't do it the way I do it, I don't get the true footage. If you understand that.
Well, like I say, I'm not going to say this will be the case everywhere, because I know clearly, people have different views on how these things work.
Yeah.
I mean, other councils. But as I sort of said to you before, and I genuinely do mean this. I'll happily, before you go, I'll give you my details.
Yeah.
You can give us a call and we can sort it out if you want to do it different times. Literally, we do have people coming on site and we show them around.
Yeah.
Because we do understand this has a bit of. There's something. It's not. It's not a box. What's the word I'm looking for here?
There's
it's not a boring 1990s.
No. There's a bit of nostalgia. Yeah.
And hopefully it'll continue going for a few years yet.
There'll be people probably want to have a look around here whose grandfather or great grandfather worked here. As a boy.
Well, we've had that part of. I said we do the heritage tours and what have you. Amy, who tends to do them, she's one of our recycling officers. She's American, not that that matters, but she's really good with her communication and what have you, and very enthused about what she talks about. And as part of usually part of the tours, we've started doing handouts. stole from an idea somebody else had, which seemed a very good idea to us anyway.
Yeah.
And she goes into a lot of detail on this stuff, but she's got photographs in her presentation of one of our refuse collectors, one of our ex-refuse collectors. He retired a
Yeah.
couple of years ago,
Yeah.
but when he started, which was 1960 something or other,
Yeah.
his dad worked here.
Yeah.
So you do get that sort of linkage through. We've got a refuse collector who's worked here. Well, what is he now? He's 41 years in.
My dad was a bin man. When I was a boy, he was a bin man. But that was in the days before you had machinery doing it. That was the days of the old tin bins, and you had to carry them on your back.
I've done it.
You've done it?
I have.
Have you?
And it doesn't look like it, I appreciate. But no, in my younger days, I did some work for South Ribble.
Yeah.
And it was when they were on the old backdoor collections. The first ever day doing emptying bins was an August catch-up day. So
Yeah.
clearly they hadn't done the August bank holiday. And first day ever. And yeah, it was the old backdoor collections.
Yeah.
And yes,
I bet you slept, didn't you, that night?
it was a falling day, honestly.
Yeah.
Bits of me just wouldn't move.
Yeah. It's hard grafting. Then.
Oh, absolutely.
Mind you, I think that's across the board with a lot of manual jobs, isn't it?
Yeah.
It was hard work in them days.
Well, it was. While we don't still have that, we had recycling boxes, 20 years ago, and you get they're not obviously clearly they're not as heavy as the old style bins.
Yeah.
Some of the injuries that came off the back of having to use the boxes in the lifting and what have you.
Yeah.
You get some of what probably was going on, when people were emptying them.
Yeah. Many guys had their back put out and 2 weeks off work, no pay, probably in them days.
Yes, I would have been. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Anyway, it's been nice chatting to you.
Like I say, do you want to come and have a look at these photographs while you're here, or entirely up to you?
No, not now. I won't wear a mask for no one.
If you want to come and have a look at some of the bits that you can't get into, and, I'll show the photographs that we've got and what have you, then feel free. So my name's Duncan, and it's obviously Preston number 01772 906 294.
Right.
So just give us a buzz. If I don't answer, leave a message.
Brilliant, Duncan. I've got another fellow. What I do as well. He's a Preston lad, so he'll probably be well aware of this site. He might be interested in coming as well. Would that be okay to bring him along?
Absolutely fine. Yeah, you're more merry. Obviously, we'll just have to get the timing right. But yeah, 1, 2, 3 people, really not a problem.
He'll like that because he loves machinery as well. It's one of his little sidelines.
I had a guy turn up. He turned up one day. Came to the office and what have you. And he was passing on spec, and I still don't truly get. He told me at the time, and I didn't quite follow what he was getting at. But he was massively into Seddon Atkinson trucks and vehicles and what have you. And he emigrated to, I think he said Kenya.
Yeah.
And he was aware somehow or other that we used to have a particular Seddon Atkinson engine of some description, not mounted in a vehicle, but outside a vehicle, and he was wondering if we still had it, if it was one in our one of our buildings or whatever, and we didn't. Didn't know, but he must have been. This was about 10-15 years ago. He was well in his 80s at that point.
Right.
But he called in just on spec, just because he was in the country, and just if we had it.
Yeah. Duncan, it's been appreciated. I think that other guy might be in handcuffs and have the chance. You've got the more professional attitude. Well, you sussed out where I was coming from.
Yeah. Like I say, I appreciate everybody isn't the same.
Yeah.
But you probably better get that.
Okay. I'll speak to you again. Thank you very much, Duncan. See you later.